The aroma of freshly cooked biryani filled the air. Laughter echoed through the small apartment. Rajesh, his face beaming with pride, watched his wife Savita set the table. Their son, Aditya, a mischievous twinkle in his eyes, peppered them both with jokes.
Eat slowly, my son.
She chided gently, her eyes reflecting her love. Aditya, ever the charmer, winked.
Only for you, Ma.
Rajesh reached out, ruffling Aditya's hair. Your mother's biryani is the best in the world, isn't it? Aditya, his mouth full, nodded enthusiastically. The warmth in the room was palpable, a testament to the love that bound this family together. Later that evening, the doorbell rang, shattering the peaceful atmosphere. Aditya, engrossed in a cartoon, didn't hear it. I'll get it, Rajesh said, a smile lingering on his face. Seconds later, a blood-curdling scream pierced the air. Savita's heart lurched. It was Rajesh's voice. She rushed towards the door, fear gripping her like a vice. Two masked figures, their eyes cold and menacing, held Rajesh captive. One of them shoved Rajesh to the ground. He crumpled, helpless. Savita watched in horror as they grabbed Aditya, his small face contorted in fear. Savita's scream echoed in the empty street. Neighbors, alerted by the commotion, rushed to help.
Please, they've taken my son.
She sobbed, clutching at their hands. The police arrived, their faces grim. Questions bombarded Savita, descriptions, suspicious activity, anything that could lead them to Aditya. Each unanswered question fueled Savita's despair. Days turned into nights, each one an agonizing eternity. Savita and Rajesh, united in their grief, refused to give up hope. They distributed flyers, their faces etched with worry, their eyes pleading for any information about their son. A week later, the phone rang. Savita, her hand trembling, answered it. The voice on the other end was cold, devoid of emotion. We have your son. A ransom will ensure his safe return. Rajesh, his face haggard from sleepless nights, listened intently. Hope flickered in his eyes, only to be extinguished by the chilling demand. The sum was exorbitant, impossible for a working-class family like theirs to afford. They pleaded with the kidnappers, their voices hoarse with desperation. They promised to do anything, everything, to get their son back. But their pleas fell on deaf ears. The line went dead, leaving a deafening silence in its wake. Section 5. A Glimmer of Hope. The police, working tirelessly, finally got a lead. After days of relentless investigation, a breakthrough came through a tip from an anonymous source. This tip led them to a derelict warehouse on the outskirts of the city, a place that had long been forgotten by most. Armed with hope and a prayer, Rajesh and Savita accompanied them. Their hearts were heavy with fear, but they clung to the possibility of finding their loved one. The warehouse was shrouded in an eerie silence. Every creak of the floorboards echoed through the empty halls, amplifying the tension. The air hung heavy with a sense of dread. It was as if the walls themselves were whispering secrets of the past.
Rajesh, मुझे बहुत डर लग रहा है.
As the police cautiously made their way inside, Savita clutched Rajesh's hand, her knuckles white. The tension was palpable, every step measured and deliberate. A flurry of activity followed. The police moved with precision, their training evident in every motion. Shouts, the sound of scuffling feet, then silence once more. The sudden quiet was almost deafening, a stark contrast to the chaos that had just unfolded. Finally, a young officer emerged, his face pale. His expression spoke volumes, a mix of relief and lingering anxiety. We've apprehended the kidnappers. The words were a balm to the frayed nerves of Rajesh and Savita, he said, his voice somber. The ordeal was far from over, but this was a significant step towards justice. Section 6. Justice prevails. The trial was a media frenzy. The nation watched as Rajesh and Savita, their faces etched with pain, recounted their ordeal. The evidence was overwhelming, the kidnappers' cruelty undeniable. The courtroom erupted in cheers as the judge read the verdict, guilty. Justice had prevailed, but it was a hollow victory. Aditya was gone, and no court ruling could bring him back. Savita, हमने न्याय पाया, लेकिन आदित्य वापस नहीं आएगा. As they left the courtroom, Savita stumbled. Rajesh caught her. his arms encircling her protectively. They had found justice for their son, but their fight was far from over. Section 7. Scars of Loss. Life without Aditya was a constant ache. Every corner of the house echoed with his absence, a void that could never be filled. The empty chair at the dinner table, once a place of laughter and joy, now stood as a stark reminder of their loss. The silence in his room, where once the sounds of play and dreams filled the air, was now a haunting quiet. The toys left untouched, each one a memory, a story, a piece of a life that was no longer there. They were constant reminders of their unbearable loss, a pain that seemed to grow with each passing day. Savita found solace in tending to Aditya's garden. It was her way of keeping his memory alive, a small comfort in an ocean of grief. She nurtured his plants with the same love she had showered on him, each bloom a testament to her enduring love.
ये पौधे अब मेरे आदित्य की यादें हैं. These plants are now the memories of my Aditya.
Rajesh, unable to bear the sight of Aditya's belongings, packed them away, each toy a poignant memory of a life cut short. It was his way of coping, of trying to move forward. Despite their grief, they knew they couldn't let Aditya's death be in vain. They had to find a way to honor his memory. They had to do something, anything, to prevent other families from experiencing the same pain. Their journey of healing had just begun, and they were determined to make a difference. Section 8. A Call for Change. This chapter delves into the transformative journey of Rajesh and Savita, who in the face of unimaginable grief, chose to become beacons of hope and change. Their story is a testament to the power of resilience and the human spirit's capacity to turn pain into purpose. Rajesh and Savita channeled their grief into action. They refused to let their tragedy define them. Instead, they sought to create a safer world for other children. Their journey began with countless meetings, planning sessions, and a relentless drive to make a difference. They established the Aditya Foundation, an organization dedicated to raising awareness about child safety and supporting families of missing children. The foundation quickly became a hub for volunteers and activists, all united by a common goal: to protect the innocent and vulnerable. They organized rallies, their voices hoarse but determined, urging for stricter laws and increased security measures. These rallies were not just about making noise. They were about making a statement, demanding change, and ensuring that no other family would have to endure the pain they had suffered. हमें अपने बच्चों की सुरक्षा के लिए मिलकर काम करना होगा. We must work together to ensure the safety of our children. They visited schools, educating children about stranger danger and empowering them to stay safe. These sessions were interactive, filled with stories, role-playing, and practical advice, ensuring that the children were not just listeners, but active participants in their own safety. Their efforts resonated across the nation. Communities from different regions, cultures, and backgrounds came together, united by a shared mission. The movement grew, fueled by the collective desire to protect the future generation. People from all walks of life joined their cause, united by the shared belief that every child deserves a safe and happy childhood. The rallies turned into a nationwide movement, with people marching hand in hand, their voices echoing the same message: protect our children. Aditya's story, though tragic, became a catalyst for change, a beacon of hope in the fight against crime and injustice. Candlelight vigils were held in his memory, symbolizing the light of hope and the collective resolve to make the world a safer place for children.
आदित्य की कहानी अब एक उम्मीद की किरण है. Aditya's story is now a ray of hope.
And so, in their darkest hour, Rajesh and Savita found a way to turn their pain into purpose, ensuring that Aditya's legacy would live on, protecting countless other children from harm. Their journey is a powerful reminder that even in the face of profound loss, one can find the strength to create meaningful change and inspire others to join the cause.